Tonight, new member Connan Welsh tests the new LaFerrari. I drive Tesla's latest electric sports car. And Matt Orange does his first ever game with you, but not the game that you were expecting.
Hello and welcome. Thank you. Now, Spa-Francorchamps has always been a challenge for most of the drivers in the F1 field. It has been dangerous in the past, as we know, as there was no barriers and a massive cliff that could end your life. It has claimed so many lives in the past, and it nearly even took the life of Jackie Stewart. But since then, safety implements have been taken to the track, and now it's a lot more safer to drive. But how do you set a competitive lap time on it? Well, to find out, here is our hot lap expert Matthew Redmore to show you how.
So here we are in the lap of Spa, coming into the first corner. We're in a Red Bull, Sebastian Vettel, and we go out the corner. Don't use half your curves, just leave just over half a bar of curves, as you will see why. As we come up this really steep hill, hang your breath in there, just tuck it in there, hook the curbs, cut a little bit of there, and there's a little bit of curves to get your speed back up from going up that steep hill. DRS open as soon as possible. Try not to hit it too early, because sometimes you may open and close it quickly. And the momentum, so 50-meter board, clip that corner, then that one. I don't know the corners because I'm a bit stupid, but anyway, did that corner really well. Go gear 1 to get a lot of grip there. Gear 2 will just send you straight off, so I've learned before. Now in that curve, try not to like lose. If you enter that corner properly, you should get good exit out there. You can hold it flat out, but I was trying to keep it tidy for this setup lap. So anyways, we're coming through to the end, near the end of sector 2, the last few corners of sector 2. Gonna quickly shift down to 3rd gear, hit up to 4th and 5th. Now, quickly go down to 2nd gear, head out on the 3rd gear to get your traction back from 3rd and gear 5. And try not to use any curves out of this corner. Anyway, we're heading off down to a high speed left corner again. Hanging in there again. Come on, in there. The chances of a wet race here is very possible. Chance of overtaking a maneuver here. Brake here at the 100-meter board. Hit that corner perfectly. Try and hit that, but use the rest of your curves. And that, my friends, was a lap here at Spa. So here we are at the setup. So here we are. Here we are. So the front wing is 6, rear is 2, and the brakes is 54% to the rear, high pressure and large brake size. And the balance is 11 at the front, 7 at the rear. The suspension is, I struggled with this, 2, 1, 7 and 9. And the gearbox 88, 110. 129, 147, 166, 185 and 207. Unusual 3.5, 1.5. So that was my setup. I hope you enjoyed this video, and peace.
Yes, guys, a very good hot lap guide there from Matthew Redmore. Hopefully next week we can give some more great hot laps. Right now, though, it is now time to do the news, and we begin with the obvious note that the two other presenters that are usually with me to do the news have vanished. Matthew Redmore and Matt Orange. They've not actually, vanished. They couldn't attend this week as they are revising for exams, so good luck to them. And none of the two new members were available either, so it's just going to be me today doing the news on my own, and it does look deserted, and I'm still using a webcam for it just to make sure there's no noticeable difference. Right, and let's start off then. We begin with news about Stock Car 2013. Now, the people who make it, Reza Studios, have confirmed that they are going to be launching a Metamora endurance racer for the game, and it's called the Metamora MRX prototype. I think it's mainly based on the Toyota from the Le Mans series, but it actually, as I read it now, it's actually a Brazilian sports car endurance championship that it's in. I thought it was based on the Toyota from Le Mans. But yeah, guys. So any of you who play Stock Car 2013, look out for that car because it is. I believe it's going to come out. When is it going to come out? Let me have a look. They haven't announced a date yet, but it should be out very soon, I'm guessing. Anywho, let's move on to some news about PlayStation. In fact, PSN, I should say. Now, Sony have announced that they are slashes in racing game prices in a temporary February PS Store sale. And this is basically, let me just read out what it says. As a part-time limited retail price, reshuffling a sizable array of PS3, PS4, and PS Vita titles, several big racing games such as Gran Turismo 6, F1 2013, and Good 2 have had their sales prices notably reduced from their original full RRP listings. Those with a PlayStation Plus subscription can also, in some cases, have a further 10% discount on top of February's PSN price cuts. It also says as well that these price cuts run from the February 5th, so that was yesterday, until February 26th. So you've got a limited time in which to get your deal for to buy a game on the PSN store, whether it be on PS3, PS4, or PlayStation Vita. Anyway, moving on to some Forza news now, and the Forza 5, the people at Turn 9 have released a Honda Legends car pack for Forza 5, and it is to come as a free download, and it includes cars such as the 1984 Honda CRX Mugen, the 1994 Honda Prelude SI, or C I believe it is, and the brand new Honda Civic C Coupe. It's not the one that BTCC are using. There's actually a trailer of it on YouTube called the Honda Legends Car Pack. I'm guessing it's on their YouTube channel, so go and check that out. And it came out actually earlier. It actually came out on the 4th of February, so you can get it right now. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. If the page decides to come back. News about hang on. That's not really important. Now, Need for Speed. Some news about Need for Speed. They have announced that they are putting on hold the EA Ghost UK face layoffs for the new Need for Speed. They have delayed that. Let me read the source. Eurogamer reports that sources from Guildford inform them that all the artists in the UK branch of EA Ghost have been let go, with remaining coders staying to help with other EA projects. Let's see when this has been held to, and I don't believe it says. So yeah, guys, any Need for Speed fans, like Matt Orange for example, that's been on hold. More news now, and it comes from, if you scroll down, some news about Assetto Corsa. They have announced a version 0.6 update, which includes all quick races rolled out stars. Details that having introduced a limited range of events in the previous Assetto Corsa update, v 0.6 now allows players to select AI competition on each of the 12 tracks in the title. Players will also be able to individually choose which NPC card they like to compete against from the 35 licensed vehicles currently available in Assetto Corsa. That's not much, but I'm guessing when they release the full game, it should have a lot more. So watch out for that, people who play Assetto Corsa, like Alex Armageddon. Well, that's not his real name, I don't think. But anywho, moving on.
The new Mario Kart game, Mario Kart 8. I know not many people are Nintendo people because of Nintendo's BS decision of launching a console every single year. Mario Kart 8 is scheduled to be released this year in May, so any Mario Kart fans, be prepared for the launch of that. And is there any more news? Go down. Any more news? Oh yes, 3 more newses. And some more news about Forza, and then there'll be another one coming soon. In fact, going back to that Forza thing, as I said, they've launched a Honda Classic Racing Pack. They have also launched a smoking tyre car pack as well, which has now just been released. So you can get those 2 packs right now, which the smoking tyre car pack contains. Let's see what it contains actually, because it does, I believe it should say it on there. Let's have a look. Yes, it does. Here we are. Well, that's a lot of cars. Okay, it contains the 2013 Abarth Punto Supersport, the 2000 BMW Z8, the 1994 Nissan Fairlady Z version S Twin Turbo, the 2002 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am Ram Air, the 2011 Ferrari FF, the 1968. I don't know why FFS is there. Never mind. The 1968 Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale. I can't pronounce that. The 1966 Chevrolet Nova SS. The 2014 Maserati. I mean, not 2014. 2004 Maserati MT12. The 1992 Toyota Calisa GT4 ST185, and the 1995 Audi RS2 Avant. So you can get those 2 packs, including the Honda one I mentioned, right now, as it has been released for the Xbox One, as that's the console that it came out. Right. Some more news about Forza. This is basically a rumour that's going on recently. There's a rumour going on that Forza Horizon could be re-released on the Xbox One this September. Number 1, that is. Let's have a look. The user under the, I can't pronounce that. Announced that Play Games' Forza's spin-off title will be remastered as an exclusive release on Microsoft's latest games console, bringing co-op gameplay, weather effect, and a true test drive on a limited style open world. This claim leak comes after a recent speculative story about Forza Horizon 2 being pipelined, which is also expected to be announced later this year. So there is now a rumour that Forza Horizon number 1, that is, well, we don't know if that's going to be the only one, could be re-released on the Xbox One, and the rumour about Forza Horizon 2 being announced at E3 this year is still going on. Now, one more news about Bugbear's next car game. Now, I was supposed to mention this last week, but none of my presenters heard of it, so we didn't talk about it. But there has been some news coming in that the next car game has made over $1 million in 1 week on Steam Early Access. So, a big congratulations there to Bugbear for that. You really brought the fans in. Right, that is the end of the news. Now, moving on. The LaFerrari, the new Ferrari, looks great, and a lot of us couldn't wait to get our hands on it. However, now I wanted to do a test on it. However, it is not on Gran Turismo 6, unfortunately. I don't know whether they're going to be releasing it on a pack or not. But, so who can we trust to take it round the track? Well, we do have a Forza car reviewer now on the show. So, to find out how good the LaFerrari is, here is our new member, Connan Welsh, to see what it's like.
Hello guys, and welcome to Forza Motorsport 5. And as you see before you is the LaFerrari, the new car by, obviously, Ferrari. And this is 3 laps around a track called Prague in the game. And throughout these 3 laps, I'll be telling you my gripes of the car and what I think of it. So, this car is a DLC car, and for the first lap, as you can see from the gameplay, I'm all over the place. I use no assist. I'm really struggling to gain control of the car and predict what's going to happen, like when the oversteer is going to happen, when the understeer is going to happen. So it was difficult for the first lap, even through the second lap I was beginning to see I just take a massive wallop there, and then throughout the second lap I just kept getting understeer, oversteer, and it just keeps going. But on the third lap I finally got the car, well, not mastered, I'd say I finally got the car down, and it felt it felt nice. I wouldn't say it's amazing. This is stock car, no upgrades, no nothing. It's in the S class. It's S 798, and excuse me, sorry guys, apologies. And yeah, as you can see, like I'm struck. It's got quite a lot of It's got, as soon as you go in the corner, you get a bit of understeer, and then you counteract the understeer. But it seems like you counteract it too much, even though you're not. You just get a bunch of oversteer. It's so annoying. But I wouldn't say. I'd say you have to be pretty good to be able to drive this car with no assists. I have not tried to carve any assists. See, look, massive collision. That was my biggest collision. But yeah, you can see like I'm struggling to keep control of the car. That I'm probably taking the corners too hard. And like you need to be somewhat good at this game to be able to drive it with no assists. It's quite expensive. It is 980,000 career credits. As you see me running right in the second lap, I begin to get better in third, going up to fourth. Gearbox is nice, goes up very quickly. It's a fast car. It's just like, as you can see, slightest of touch steering inputs, and it will slide out on you, or decide to the front will slide out. It's very hard to hit the apexes unless you got your exact line right. I mean, for drifters, I can imagine this car is very, very, very good. If you like do a few upgrades, maybe lighten it a bit and stuff like that, I can see it being a very thoroughly decent car. For racers, well, there's an event online currently for the McLaren P1 versus the LaFerrari, and over both cars I'd recommend the LaFerrari. It's got, although it's got understeer and oversteer, like if you know when they're coming, then it's a very enjoyable experience. It's just you have to put quite a few laps in before you can begin to recognise when the understeer is, when the oversteer is. So that's something, and I think now, any minute now, you're going to see me really badly fuck up. I just missed a braking point, and then tap. I decided to use the flashback, guys, to show you the flashback feature, and more importantly, to show you more how you should take the corner. See, braking down into fifth gear, and yeah, so I finally took the corner properly. Riding them corners, tiny bit of a corner cut there, it was a bit naughty, but oh well. It's just the nature of the car. If you've got to train yourself to not be so throttle happy. You've got to put the accelerator on slowly, as I found out on my third and final lap. If you guys would like to watch the gameplay here, I apologise for the quality of the gameplay, because I have not got an Elgato yet. I will be getting one in a month or so, but as you can see, like, I barely touched the wheel, oversteer, the car's sliding out. But on this lap, I begin to master it. I begin to know the intricacies of the car again, because I've driven this car quite a lot. It's just been a while. I wouldn't say this car's for the faint-hearted. I'd say that you have to be quite a precise driver, have decent reaction, know what you're doing. It's definitely in the advanced level tier, as I would personally say. I mean, it's a very nice looking car. It's got, as you'll see at the end of this 3-lap stint. Excuse me, apologies again. As you can see, I'm turning in. The car's doing what I want to now. It's feeling more and more responsive. So the car, as you get to know the car, you know more when it's going to flip out on you. You know when you can counteract the oversteer. You know what you need to do in order to make it what you want to do, if you get what I mean. It feels a lot nicer put it this way, when you know what you're doing and the car's doing what you would like it to do, It is an amazing car to drive. It is so much fun. I would recommend it on any level to anybody as soon as that happens. It is really, really good. So you see me finishing the third and final lap, kissing the apex, with a touch of oversteer. And when you're counteracting the oversteer in this car, it's one of the most satisfying experiences you can get. So to round off, guys, I will give this car, in my opinion, it is worth buying in Forza. And Forzability, out of 10, which is how good it is in Forza 5, I'll give it a solid 8.5. So I thank you all for watching, and I'll hand it back to Joseph Willows in the studio. Goodbye, guys.
Yes, guys, the LaFerrari there, a very good car there. A great car review there from Connan Welsh, our brand new member. The LaFerrari then can be slidey at times, but by God, it is very, very quick and a very good car. And compared to the P1, it is a lot better. Anyway, now moving on, it's now time for my car review. And recently, I have been testing the new electric sports car. But what do I think of it? Well, play the tape and find out. Here is the brand new electric sports car from the American company Tesla. It's called the Tesla Model S Signature Performance, and when you look at it you might think that looks a bit like an Infiniti. Nothing like their previous models. It does a bit, but despite the styling difference, does it feel different to the previous Tesla, the Roadster? Well, I'm having a look at Tesla's information right now, and clearly it doesn't really say much about speed, handling, or even the suspension. All it's talking about is the bloody charging of the batteries. Let me read this out to you. The charger for the Tesla Model S, like the Tesla Roadster, is integral to the vehicle, allowing charging from 120/240 volt sources to up to 10 kilowatt. Why am I even reading this? I might as well test the speed out. All this stuff I mentioned about speed, suspension, and its handling myself. Screw this. First, let's test out speed. And it's frantically disappointing because, well, let's find out for ourselves. Look how slow the acceleration is. On the straight, it could only do 106. Very disappointing. Cornering and suspension, on the other hand, is very, very good. The cornering is lighter than the M4 we had last week, and the suspension glides around as well. So it's a thumbs up for the steering and suspension right there. But let's find out what happens when you turn the traction control off, shall we? Power sliding is pretty much a disappointment. Reason being is because it's not as exciting. It's okay, the power sliding is, yes, but it's not exciting as what the M4 was last week, and that is massively disappointing. The back doesn't stay out for as long as I want it to, and it doesn't give me a smile when I'm in the car. Looking at this then, it's just like a pile of dog. Very good on the inside, but on the outside, very disappointing. Plus that also, it wants to spin on and on and on. So overall then, the new Tesla is a very disappointment. It's not very good with power sliding, it keeps spinning, and the speed is very, very slow to get up to speed. Sure, it is the next electric sports car, but to be honest, if I wanted an electric sports car, I'd rather have the normal Tesla instead. Yes guys, a very shocking review there, and not a very good one for the Tesla. It didn't live to my full expectations of an electric sports car. The car underneath is very, very good, but there's still a few things. Power sliding's good, but it doesn't get the excitement that I want like the M4 did last week. And plus that, it is very, very slow to reach its top speed. So to be honest, I'd rather have the normal Tesla instead, because that was a lot more better, a lot more lighter, and a lot more exciting, just like a Lotus. Well, it was based on a Lotus anyway. But right now, though, it is now time to find out how fast the new Tesla goes around our track, and that, of course, means handing it over to our team racing driver. Some say he is wanted by the CIA, and that he sleeps upside down like a bat. All we know is he's called the Stig. And he's off now. Let's see what that slow Tesla can do, trying to get up to top speed. Turn 1, a little bit wider than the M4, and he's losing it down at turn 2. I never had that on the lap when I took it around the track. And it's compromised turn 3 because look now, he's got 2 wheels over the white line. That's going to cost him. Obviously he's showing he's really struggling with that Tesla, and look, a little bit of a twitch there. Now down the straight, what can the Stig do? Down into the left-hander, and he clips the curb nicely there, so looks like he's got it under control. And now down through this right-hander, it looks like he hasn't got it under control because he's only just kissed that curb, and he's only just kissed that one as well. So the Stig absolutely struggling with the Model S. Now down to the hairpin, the penultimate corner. No understeer this time, unlike the M4. Now down to this fast right-hander, which is the last corner of the track. Coming down the straight and across the line. Yes, guys, good lap there from the Stig. I'm guessing that's the best he could do in that Tesla. I still prefer the original one anyway. So, here's the question. What time did the Tesla do? Was it quicker than the M4 or was it slower than the M4? Well, it did it in 58.8. So it means it's slower than... Yeah, it is slower than the BMW. Disappointing. Let me just put it down, look. Signature performance. No, I can't even spell performance. 58.8. So not a very good lap there from the Tesla. 2.5 seconds slower than the BMW. Obviously shows how much the Stig was struggling in that car. So yeah guys, as predicted, the Tesla is slower than the BMW. Judging by the fact that it reaches its top speed very, very slowly. And like I said, I would prefer the original Tesla, the Roadster. But right now though, it is time for Matt Orange's first ever game review now. Now this week it was supposed to be Need for Speed Rivals he was reviewing. However, it actually turned out that he didn't have a bypasser HDCP, or as it's also known as a video converter, and he also didn't have a Facebook account to upload videos from his share button on the PS4, which is a massive disappointment. And he could have used his old webcam, but he sold that unfortunately, or got rid of it, I don't know which one he did. So instead, he has decided to do a game review on F1 2013. So, I hope you enjoy it, and it might think of you, well, what I'm trying to say is, hopefully it can give you some information about whether you want the game or not.
Hey guys, it's 99 Pit Matt here, and this is for the Top Gear Gran Turismo. This is my game review of F1 2013. It's not Need for Speed Rivals because I haven't got the bypasser that makes it, makes it work for PS3 and PS4 to record. So, for the moment at least, we've got F1 2013 because I know a lot about it. This is my review of the game. So, this is just a 5-lap race around dynamic Silverstone, dynamic conditions at Silverstone. And I apologise if I sniffle a lot, guys. I've got a really bad cold. Right, so I give a rating out of 10 on all of these, and I'm just going to tell you a lot about it. This is how it's going to roll, as the screen is and the Grand Prix thing is loading in the Salve of Gutierrez. And now we're coming onto the track, So first of all, we see that the track, the game shows you what the track looks like. Obviously, to start it off, you can see what the conditions are like. That's how I found out. It also shows you yourself actually getting into the car, which I found fantastic for the first time I raced on F1 2013. And then your mechanic puts in your steering wheel, or your engineer, sorry. And yeah, so here we are in the garage looking at stuff. You can upload your setup, your preferred setup. That I don't even know it's a dry setup, I haven't got a wet setup, so yeah. We're racing as Kimi Raikkonen here. You can change your tyres to whatever you want, but obviously in the damp conditions you need intermediate tyres. So basically it's real life like this is. Like Gran Turismo 6 is a driving simulator. This is a good F1 simulator in my opinion. So see, look, everything that normally happens to a normal F1 driver, he's been taken out, he's gone onto the track. And now we wait for it to load up. Doesn't normally take that long. Here we go. So Lewis Hamilton's on pole. This is not anything to do with where he came in Silverstone this year. This is just random. And my teammate Grosjean's in 9th. And so as we can see, it's a lot lifelike. There are lots of people in the grandstands. It looks basically like the real thing, as I've got 4 lights and 5 lights. And the Grand Prix is away. As straight away you can tell that the things are good, because the tyres, lots of spray comes at the back of them, which always happens in normal F1. So it's good to see, like, it's a good simulator there. And now we're looking at the inside of any cars, and we didn't make any contact there, which obviously shows, because there might have been a bit of lag there, but there wasn't any lag. That's one problem with this game actually, lag. And also, as you saw there where we got past Sebastian Vettel, his car just randomly braked going into the corner for no reason. He could have gone flat out through there, but the AI are a bit cautious sometimes, and sometimes they're a bit too aggressive. So maybe for F1 2014 they need to sort out the AI more, so keep them in a balance, not too aggressive and not too cautious, because that will be a lot better. So now, as you can see, the rest of the track around Silverstone at Cops. Here we are at Cops, and we're behind Nico Rosberg, and you can just see in the sky, this is lifelike. As I keep saying, this is the point I'm trying to get to you. Look, you can just see the sky over distance, quite a long way away, is white, and here on the track it's grey. So this is why it's raining. It's not raining on a blue sky, is it? It's raining because it's grey clouds, and that's what is also good about the game. And also, if you've just realised, on the screen there are spots on the camera. This is very lifelike in my opinion. You can just see the spots moving up and down and stuff, and that's really good in my opinion. Just, yeah, it's just like a normal window. You can just, obviously the rain spots go on your camera, and yeah, or on your window screen, and that's very much lifelike. As now we're into the second lap of 5 laps here. So yeah, not a lot to say about this point. Obviously everything is lifelike with the curves and the DRS, so obviously if you're behind 1 second of the car behind in a DRS zone, then you will get DRS, and it will increase your top speed down the main straight. So that's good, and also curves gives you a boost as well. Make sure you choose where to use your curves, obviously, because that will make you improve your lap times. As now this race is going quite fast, we're already through Cops here, and it's not really until like the 3rd or 4th laps that I really go through everything. So at the end of this lap there's not a lot to talk about, as we're just riding through. Also, when you go over the curbs, you can tell, like, when you ride and bump over the curves, the car shunts around like do. So that's more lifelike. Everyone's saying F1 2013 is bad. In my opinion, F1 2013 is a very, very good game. It's a lot better to F1 2012, because F1 2012 is where you just hit someone at the back and they go into a massive spin, and they just have a massive lag, and they just spin out, and it could ruin both the races, because the guy that hit him to lose the front wing and the guy that got took out would not be very happy, because he's lost about 10 seconds. So now we're on to lap 3, We're closing in on Alonso, and it also tells you, look at the top, where the fastest lap is. So if you want to know who is the fastest driver on track, then just look up there, as I'm the fastest on track. As now we've gone round Alonso. So the AI are very fair on this game. If they know that you're there, then they won't block you. And look, Alonso tried to get past there, but because it's wet and the AI are a bit too cautious at times, like I said, he backs out of it. So now they're chasing on for Lewis Hamilton. And the track is now it's becoming more wet. You can see that there's more spray coming off the back of the tyres, which I really like. And now I go for the camera. So if you don't like that camera angle, you can change to lots of different camera angles. Most people either go for the one I was using or the one before. No, I used to drive this on F1 2010 and 2011, but it's kind of hard to drive now, even though I do close up on Hamilton here. But yeah, I wouldn't choose using this one, as you can't really see what's happening at the front of the car, as now I'm just moving the camera around. So you can see when you have certain cameras, you can see much more of the track in front of you and behind you. And now the nose cam, oh my god, if you could drive like this, then credit to you, because this is absolute hell for me. How can... This is probably the worst cam on the game, as all the F1 games. You just can't know what to do. And now the cockpit view. This is what the driver sees in the normal race. So this is what every single F1 race, the F1 drivers, this is what they will see, which I think is really, really good, because it does put them behind the F1 seat, down the F1 experience, and yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad, because you get a taste of what F1 is actually like. I'm just moving the cameras to make sure it's like your head is tilting. That's what your head's like. If you move the camera left or right, then it looks like your head's tilting, so that's quite good. So now I might change the camera. Yeah, I think I've changed the camera back now. This is after commentary, so this is the first time I've done after commentary on any game, so I just bought a mic a few days ago. Right, so here we go through cops then. Cops again is alright. And also you can see on the screen here at the moment, on the middle one that I'm on now, you can see how badly worn your tyres are, which is really good for when you need a pit stop, in my opinion. So if you've been on for about 10 laps on tyres that are completely worn, then you know when to pit. So if the tyres are on red, you know when to pit, and then if the tyres are on green, then you know they're absolutely fine. And the one on the right tells you how much fuel you have left on board at the end of the race. So I have 6 laps of fuel on board, because I've got plus 1 lap. And then at the bottom, if you saw it, it said if I come into the pits right now, where I would rejoin it, it said like 12th or 13th, I believe, which is also really good. Now for that, you can change your fuel mixture to mix 3, mix 2, mix 1. Mix 3 makes you go faster, but burns out your tyres quicker. Mix 2 is just a normal procedure, just driving around, you won't really gain much time. Mix 1 is where you will be a lot slower, but it saves your tyres. And for tyres, this is where when you come into a pit stop, you can choose your own tyres. So that is, obviously you won't go for the prime option tyres in these conditions, because there's no point. And also, if you saw there, I went wide because of some standing water. And because I've got no traction control, and it's very hard to control standing water when you're over it. And the brakes there, you can change to which brakes you want, front, neutral or rear. Neutral, like standard mix 2, is normal. Front is not one I use, and rear is what I use every single race, no matter what track it is. And also, if you can see at the bottom right corner now, I've got a full bar curves which I'm just deploying. And at the bottom right, the fuel light has come on, which means that I'm very close to using the whole fuel load, so I really need to go into mix 2 here, but because the fuel light's just come on, you could probably make it to the end of the Grand Prix. If it says -1 lap, then just put it down to mix 1 right then and now. So as I come around the final corner, this is my review of F1 2013, and I am probably going to give this game an 8 out of 10. This is because there are some things that really need to be improved, like the lag at times, but overall a much improvement on F1 2012. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you soon. Thank you for watching this. This will be on the Top Gear Gran Turismo video that Joe will upload. 8 out of 10. I'll just go through it again because it's a lot better game than F1 2012. F1 2012 in my opinion will get 4 out of 10, but this game is a lot improved. You can tell by the graphics, they look stunning. You can, yeah. So thank you for watching this, guys. I hope you liked it, and I will see you soon. Adios.
Yes guys, a very good game review there from Matt Orange. Hopefully he can do more next week. I do just like to quickly apologise for his cold. He did have a terrible cold at that week, so I do apologise for that. And I do apologise for his mic being a bit beaty at times. Hopefully he can get that sorted out for his next game review, which might be Need for Speed Rivals, fingers crossed, if PlayStation unlock the copyright lock. So let's move on. At this moment, I would usually get a star in the reasonably priced car, but I invited 2 this week. However, there was a problem. One of them agreed to do it, but never sent any footage, and the other one replied very, very late on a Friday. So for this week, there will not be a star in the reasonably priced car, but hopefully we can get one for next week. And the idea of interviewing them on Google Hangouts has now been scrapped, so now you just need to do commentary on it. And a lot of you are also getting a bit confused on how you can become the star in a reasonably priced car. Well, don't worry, because I will be making a separate video showing you how to become the star in the reasonably priced car on this series. So look out for that on this channel. But right now, let's move on. The Toyota FT1, when we first looked at it, looked like pure pornography, to be honest. But we didn't know what it was like. I mean, it's a concept, for goodness sake. It was designed by Toyota and was helped by Polyphony, the guys who make Gran Turismo. And in January, it had just been released in the world of Gran Turismo. But who can we get to test the car out? Well, here to find us out, here is our new member, our concept reviewer and tuning expert, Joshua Anderson, to see what it's like.
This is the car that's been gaining so much hype recently, the Toyota FT1. Already thousands of Toyota enthusiasts are calling this thing the new Supra. But is that really true? Well, I would look at the specifications of this thing, but there aren't any official specifications. Toyota haven't announced any. It really is a mystery about how quick this car is. I mean, it looks very much like the Supra did. It's very, very similar. I mean, just look at it. Just looking at it, you would think it is some sort of offshoot of it, at least. I mean, the Supra went out of production a long time ago, but it's still remained a very popular car. And this could full well be the next generation of it. I mean, it looks, as I've said, very, very sporty indeed. But we don't know how quick it is, because we can't exactly judge from any specs or anything. We can't put this car on paper at all. So, what I've decided to do is take it out on our track and see what the thing's really capable of, and if, by performance, it really is the new Supra. Well, it does look slightly out of place on our track, being such a futuristic looking car and all, but when you actually get down to drive this thing, what is it like? Well, in a word, brilliant. It is just amazing in the turns. It just does what you need it to. Cornering in this thing is just incredibly fun and brilliant. Just through this corner here, we're getting a bit of oversteer, but it's just so easy to correct it. It's just, and into this turn, it's just not lacking in grip at all. You get so much of it, and it's just brilliant in these corners. In all honesty, this has got to be one of the best handling cars I've ever driven. It just is perfect in every single way. It just is so predictable, it's so pretty, and that's what makes it brilliant. And when it does oversteer, it's just so easy to correct it, and you can get it slide out if you want. But it is just arguably, this could be, in my honest opinion, the future of motoring. It is just such a good car to drive, such an entertaining car, and that is why I absolutely love this thing. Just in these corners, it's just so fun to drive. You do not understand how good this car is until you actually get in it. And just this again section here, this right-left section, it tackles that so easily. I mean, it is just brilliant around these turns. I keep saying it, but it's true. This thing is such a beast in the corners, and look more oversteer there. but it is just unbelievably quick. So then, the Toyota FT1. Is it the new Toyota Supra? Well, after driving it for this amount of time, I'm convinced that if it's not the new Supra, it's got to be something else, because it is such a good car. It's so much fun to drive. It's sporty, it's sleek, it's just brilliant in every single way. And I'll have you know that I got this thing around, when I was testing it, I got it around on track in 53.3 seconds. I'm not sure what stick can do with it, but I'm telling you this, if my lap time's anything to go off in the sticks quicker, then the FT1 might just take the lap record. And that would be brilliant.
Wow, what a review there from Joshua Anderson, the Toyota FT1. A very good car then indeed. Maybe not the next Supra, but by God, it is a good car. And if only the Stig went out and drove the car around the track. Sadly, he can't, because the board is only for road cars, and that car is a concept, so I'm afraid if we took it round, we'd have to take it off the board again, because it's not a road car. And that's not really a bombshell though, is it? However, this episode has been lengthy. A very lengthy episode, about nearly 50 minutes long. So on that bombshell, it is time to end. Thank you very much for watching. See you next week. Good night.